You own an apartment building. You set clear rules, no pets, no noise, fairness for everyone. Then one entitled tenant looks you in the eye and says, "You can't tell me what to do, I pay rent." That was their mistake. Because what happened next made sure no landlord in town would ever rent to them again. If you've ever dealt with someone who thought the rules didn't apply to them, hit that like button. And if you love seeing karma in action, where arrogance meets consequences, subscribe for more stories just like this. Drop your own revenge stories in the comments because I know some of you have gems. I own a small apartment building. Nothing huge, just a handful of units where I try to keep things fair and comfortable for everyone. My philosophy is simple. Rules exist for a reason. They protect people. They keep the peace. One of those rules, no pets. Not because I hate animals, far from it. But I've got tenants with severe allergies. I've got noise complaints to manage. And when people share walls, one person's barking fur baby can become another person's nightmare. Everyone signs the lease. Everyone agrees. It's black and white. So when one tenant, let's call him Mark, asked me if he could bring in a dog, the answer was clear. No. He begged. He pleaded. "It'll be small, it won't make noise, I'll pay extra deposit money." I repeated myself. No. Not happening. Lease rules. Common sense. And for a moment, I thought that was the end of it. But a week later, surprise, surprise, Mark moved in a dog anyway. No heads up, no permission, not even an apology. Just blatant disregard for the rules he signed. I found out the same way the neighbors did, through barking. Another tenant knocked on my door and said, "Hey, there's a dog in the building, what gives?" So I confronted Mark. I knocked, he answered, and I told him, "You're in violation of the lease. No pets means no pets." And do you know what he said? He smirked and said, "You can't tell me what to do. I pay rent." That sentence. That smugness. The sheer entitlement of thinking rent buys you the right to rewrite the rules. It wasn't just about the dog anymore. It was about respect, about accountability, about the agreement we all made to keep the peace. I didn't fly off the handle. I stayed calm. I gave him warnings. I gave him chances. I even issued a formal lease violation notice. But instead of correcting himself, Mark doubled down. He started leaving passive-aggressive notes on my door, little digs about how I was power-hungry or unfair. He whispered gossip to other tenants, trying to turn them against me. And when I reminded him again about the lease violation, he got bold. He said, "If you try to evict me, I'll take you to court." Court, over a dog, over rules he blatantly broke. That was the moment I realized. He wasn't just entitled, he was reckless. And reckless tenants don't just hurt landlords, they ruin the living situation for everyone around them. Now, here's the part Mark didn't know. I already had a file on him. And in that file, a little detail about how he'd been evicted from another building for, wait for it, the exact same nonsense. He had a history, a pattern. And in the landlord world, we have something called the tenant blacklist, a database where landlords quietly share problem renters with each other. So while Mark thought he was playing hardball with me, I was quietly setting the stage for checkmate. I reported him. Every detail. The violation, the entitlement, the harassment, and, most importantly, his repeated history of doing this elsewhere. Within days, his name was flagged. And suddenly, Mark went from, "I pay rent, I can do what I want," to "nobody will take me." Here's what happened. Mark started looking for new places because he knew the eviction process was coming. He made calls, he set up viewings, but every landlord he spoke to, they checked his record. They saw the red flags. One by one, doors slammed shut in his face. No one wanted him. He became toxic, radioactive in the rental market. He had to couch surf with friends, live in temporary housing, and even when he did find a place, he paid almost double in rent because no reputable landlord wanted him. And the best part? He never saw it coming. 2 months later, he was gone. No goodbye, no explanation. Just vanished, burned by his own arrogance and left scrambling in chaos. For me, the building was peaceful again. The tenants were happy, and I didn't lose a single night of sleep. Because the truth is, revenge doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes the sweetest justice is just making sure that someone like Mark gets exactly what they deserve. This story isn't just about a dog or a lease, it's about accountability, about people who think the rules apply to everyone else but not to them. And the lesson? Respect matters. Agreements matter. When you ignore them, eventually the world finds a way to hold you accountable. If you've ever dealt with someone like Mark, someone who thought they were untouchable, share your story in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more tales where karma shows up right on time. Because trust me, there are plenty more where this came from.